Okay guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to trim a horse for a show with clippers. So I'm going to do her bridle path, her legs, her she has fluffy belly hair. I'm going to cut and then her face. So I'm just going to kind of show you step to step on how I would do this. So first thing I start with is I start with dousing her in this because normally I'd give them a bath before I do it. But I do not have any, a pool for a bath, and I don't have an area to give her a bath. So she is just going to be covered, and I already covered her with show sheen. And then I'm going to give her a really good curry, and then I'm going to go over with a hard brush, and then I'm going to start the clipping process. So I'm going to do that. Okay, now that she's all brushed up, I'm going to be clipping her butt hairs. She'll stand in the correct area. Forward just a little bit. There you go. Good girl. Okay, don't mind that. So this is the clippers I'm going to be using. And I'm just going to clip the butt hairs. So I'm just going to find the little loose hairs, and I'm just going to go up and slowly, I'm not doing anywhere close to the skin, just slowly going up, just kind of grazing over the top, not doing anything crazy, just slowly going over the top so it doesn't look unnatural. Slowly and barely over the skin so you don't cut the actual hair, just the long ones. Make sure you don't cut the tail. You're just gonna go up, get all those little hairs off. Make sure you get the low ones, and make sure you get the inside ones. Go up, go under her tail, and then just kind of run your hands through them, run your hands up, so you can kind of see if there's still some, and there are. So I'm just going to cut those. And it's very light, very careful, just so you don't cut the good hairs. And then she has some up here, so I'm going to cut the long ones up here. Make sure you always keep your clippers clean, and every time you turn it off, you put some oil on it or something. That's how you keep your clippers nice and new and sharp, and also getting them sharpened by someone is another good way, so you don't have to keep getting them. Okay, so that side's good. So I know you probably can't really see it, but that's a lot better. She has belly ones too, so we're gonna do the belly ones real quick. We're just gonna do the same thing. Just go against the little hairs. It's okay if you clip the belly just a little bit, because you can't really see the belly as much as the leg, so it's not as detrimental if you accidentally clip that. And just go along. There we go. And I'll do the other side off camera since it's literally the same process. Just make sure you get every single one. And brush your hair through, brush it the other way. Get the under ones. And you normally don't want to go against the hair, but for these, it's a lot better, because you can actually get them a little bit easier. Just because you're really just trimming the top of these little hairs. Also, don't sew on the ground like how I am. Let's be safe. Okay, so that's probably good, and I'm gonna do the other side off camera. Okay, so now we're gonna do the legs, and they're pretty straightforward, so I'm just gonna time lapse them. Because they're pretty straightforward. You just trim all that's on there that you don't like, The white ones I actually do shave. These I just get the fetlock hair off and some of this like fluffy stuff that's just for the winter. So normally you don't have to do that in the summer, but that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just gonna time lapse it because it'll be easier. Okay, so I just finished with the legs, and this is another thing I forgot to mention in the beginning. I like to trim my horses at least a week, 2 to 1 week before a show, just so it has time to grow out, just in case you do something wrong and it looks bad. So it has time to grow out. If you're doing your first trim, I would probably say 3 weeks before, just so like if it's your first time ever doing it, if you do make a mistake, it at least has some time to grow out. But if you've been doing it for a while, a week to 2, like 1 week to 2 weeks is probably like a good time frame. This time I'm just doing it a week before because kind of forgot to last week, but it's okay. So I will probably take the trimmers to the show and I will do her feet better because they're pretty muddy right now because it is disgusting outside. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'm going to put scratches stuff on her white markings if it is muddy outside, because now that you've made it more vulnerable to get a disease because you've shaved it. So this thrush stuff right here is also for scratches and mud fever, rain rot, and stuff. So I'm going to be putting this on. So I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like. So kind of that muddy stuff on the back, you're just going to kind of coat her up. Get a nice little coat on there, and then you can kind of like pat it in with your finger just so it doesn't look bad. This front foot actually has it worse. That's actually a little bit of scratches. I know this is not like a fix everything cure, but it's literally just to help it. Just kind of like that. This thing broke. I'll have to finish. But just so you don't have a disease when you go to a show. So now I'm going to do her face and her bridle path. So when you do the bridle path, you just want a little bit. I'm going to show you how much I actually want of a bridle path, and then I'll just kind of go through her face with a time lapse. Okay, so when you're doing a bridle path, you can already see, this is how much her bridle path is. It's not as if it was as long as her ear would be all the way back here, and that's a little too much hair for me. So I just like it where it's comfortable for the halter to sit. So that's all I do. So I'm just gonna cut that, and then I'm gonna cut her whiskers, her eyeball hair, and just kind of clip the outside of her ears just a little bit, just because I don't want to do that too much. And then I'm gonna trim her fluffy little thing she has going on here. So I'm just gonna do that all in a time lapse because it's easier. And I know some people don't like to trim whiskers and stuff. Personally, I think it's fine for shows, but if you don't like it, just skip through this part. But yeah. Okay, so I just completely finished trimming her. So I got her bridle path done, which, let me move all the hair that fell out. It looks good. It literally is just right there, just for the halter. You don't need any more, especially if you show performance. They don't need that like Arabian look. And then I trimmed her muzzle, which is not the best, but I'm gonna do more at the show since this is 2 weeks before, or this is a week before, so it's all gonna grow back on her face. And then I did her eyeballs. A thing when you do their eyeballs so you don't cut their lashes is you grab their eyeball. She's not gonna let me do it. Here, I'll do it on this side. So you grab their eyeball, you grab their eyelash, and you fold it up like that, and then you can trim the under ones. And then I just kind of went over the ears just a little bit, just because it's not crazy needed. So yeah, that's what I did, and that's how you trim your horse. Some classes you cannot have your horse trimmed like this. like ranch and stuff. They don't like that much trimmed. I know at the bigger shows they do allow some of that, but I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of how you do it. This is also going to be part of a series called Show Prep for my first show this year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's just kind of a quick video that I hope was informational. So yeah.